Hello, if you wake up feeling a little stiff and a little heavy, like your body needs time to wake up, then this is perfect for you. So we are going to move through all of the major joints in turn and do this slowly and gently, helping the body to release any tension, to wake it up and allow that blood supply to go through the joints, to soften the joints. So even a few minutes every day can really help you to feel more open in the joints, more mobile with the joints, and more like yourself again. So let's begin. So we're going to move with softness and gentleness and take our time. So starting with your feet roughly shoulder width apart, take a moment and notice, just check in with yourself. Am I feeling stiff anywhere? How are my joints feeling? I'm sure you'll know when you have chatty joints. Just notice, how are my joints feeling today? Do I feel like when I get up in the morning, I'm really struggling to get up and get moving? Just be aware of that. Be curious, asking yourself those questions. And now let's begin. So we're going to start with our neck. Always honour your neck. Be super gentle with your neck. So with your feet roughly shoulder width apart, have your hands resting on your hips. And with your hands resting, take a nice breath in. Breathe out, gently look down. Breathing in, look back up. Breathe out, turn and look gently to one side. Breathing in, back to centre. Breathe out, turn and look the other way. Breathe in, back to centre. Breathe out, look down. Always being gentle, not forcing the neck. Breathing in, look back up. Breathe out, turn and look to one side, not overstretching. Breathe in, back to centre. Breathe out, turn to the other way. Breathe in, back to centre. Breathe out, look down. Breathe in, back to centre. Breathe out, turn and look to one side. Breathe in, back to centre. Breathe out, turn the other way. Breathe in, back to centre. Breathe out, look down. And breathe in, head back up to centre, breathe out, relax your hands down. So that's the neck, nice and warm now, but always being super careful with your lovely neck. Let's start with our hands and our wrists. So bring your hands up in front, palms facing up to the sky, soft knees. And you can do a lot of these movements seated actually. So you might want to sit or stand. So with the palms up, start to move the pinky finger towards your chest, then the ring finger, middle finger, first finger, then your thumb. So you end up with two soft fists. Drop fists down, turn them, open your hands, open your curtains. Then float your hands back down, back to the starting position, palms up. Don't extend your hands too far, keep them nice and comfortable. Baby finger goes in, ring finger, middle finger, first finger, thumb. Spiral those soft fists. Press in front, open the curtains, float hands down, and again floating hands up. Lovely movements for every individual finger, reaching forwards, opening the curtains, opening your heart space. Float your hands down one more time, floating up, hands start to fold in bit by bit. Drop your elbows. Press hands away, open your heart, open your curtains, float your hands down. Lovely, give your hands a little shake, quite gentle, but a little shake up and down, palms up. If you have arthritic changes in your hands, be very gentle when you're shaking them like this. Turn palms down, little shake. Then we go into clasp our hands together. Clasp the fingers together and start to gently rotate your wrists. And as you rotate, as you rotate, start to gently march on the spot. Keeping the march quite slow, keeping the rotation quite slow. Notice if anything's creaking or cracking, that's okay as long as it doesn't hurt. So allowing these lovely wrists to release tension. We often get tight wrists, fingers, joints, I think nowadays, because we're often working with little tiny screens, mobile phones, tablets, etc. Keep marching. rotate the other way. Ooh, did you notice your brain? It has a little pause and goes, oh, what's going on here? A little bit of brain gymnastics. And now flatten your feet. And now take one elbow up to the ceiling, roll it back and down. Other elbow up, back and down. Let your hips join in to help you. So while the hands are still clasped, we're just going to open the shoulders a little bit. We're going to go back to the elbows in a moment, but we're going straight to the shoulders because we're keeping our hands clasped. And here you can add the breath. So we can inhale as the elbow comes up, exhale as it goes down. Inhale up, exhale down. Lovely way of softening the shoulder joint and the rotator cuff. But typical of every Qigong movement, there's always more than one benefit. So notice how your ribs are also lifting, the side body is stretching. Now go forwards with the elbows. Always staying well within your comfort zone. Lovely movement with the breath. I tend to notice when my elbows come forwards, I can feel a little more now in my back, either side of my spine. And last one, come back to center. Give those hands again a little shake because you've been holding them together for a little while. Then bring your arms up like a scarecrow. Rotate your forearms to allow us to bring some energy into the elbows. Elbows tend to behave, but when they're not well or grumpy, they are difficult to heal. So you want to look after the elbows 6 to 8 times in one direction. Then reverse that 6 to 8 times the other way. And relax. Wonderful. So we've done our neck. We've rotated the wrists. We've worked on the elbows and the shoulders with the wrists. Go straight down to the hips. So having your hands softly on your hips, soften your knees. Begin to rotate your hips in little small circles. Keeping this quite small today. So as it's small, just notice, how are my hips feeling right now? What do they feel like? You might even notice that one hip feels more smooth and fluid than the other, but we never want to force our lovely hips. We want to always be gentle and just be aware how they're feeling. If your hips feel comfortable, you can make these rotations slightly bigger, or if you prefer, you can keep them really tiny. Now come back to center. Start to rotate the other way, keeping it small to start with, quite contained. Tuning in with your hips, how do they feel? If they're cracking or creaking, that's okay, as long as they don't hurt. We want to be rotating our hips every day if we can, because this helps to improve the flexibility of our spine. It also helps to improve the digestive system, massaging your abdomen. I always like to say that every time you boil the kettle, then rotate your hips. Because that's only about 2 or 3 minutes for the kettle to boil, and you might as well do your hips while you're there. Then come back to center. Relax your hands down. Notice how your hips are feeling after that. Ooh, that's nice. Now we're going to give our hips a little bit more energy. Let's give our hips a bit of a tap. Use your hands and tap all around your hips. Your hips joints love being tapped. This tapping action helps to bring in more blood supply, therefore more oxygen, more energy. Oh, now return to hands on hips, soft knees. Start to rotate. Ooh, do you feel how light your hips feel? It feels like you've given your hips to somebody else for a moment and you've got their hips and they feel lighter. All you've done is tapped your hips and brought in more oxygen, blood supply and energy. So the same principle applies for any joint. Go the other way. If they feel really tight or stiff in the morning, give them a rub, give the joint a rub or give it a nice tap before you start to move it. Come back to center. Wonderful. Let's go straight down to our lovely knees. So knees together. Hug those knees together nice and tight like they're best friends. Then take your hands and place them above your knees. Wrap your fingers around so you're having a little bit of a grip to support your knees. Then start to rotate in little circles. Always staying gentle with your knees as well, because they don't really like going out to the sides too much. But we want to do little circles to help support the knee joint and strengthen the muscles above the knee. Then come back to centre and go the other way, little circles, keeping it quite small. And again, 6 to 8 times is all we need. When you've completed that, stand upright, stepping our feet roughly shoulder width apart. Shift your weight onto one foot and then come up onto the other tippy toes. You can have your hands out to help you if you wish. Start to rotate your ankle in little circles. Now, if you want to keep your toe on the floor, then do. If you want to challenge your balance, lift your foot off the floor and rotate. You decide which version you prefer to do. Then go the other way. If you are challenging your balance, don't forget to breathe. We always forget to breathe when we're challenging our balance. Now place that foot gently down, shift your weight, go to the other side, start with your toes on the floor. And if you prefer, you can bring that leg off the floor and you can start to challenge your balance. Then rotate the other way. Breathing 6 to 8 times, and then gently place the foot down. Start to march on the spot a little bit. Get some energy into those lovely feet. They have to carry you all day. And now let's just bring a little bit more energy into the body. We've gone through all of the joints. We started with the neck. We finished at the ankles and the feet. Let's now give the spine a little bit of love and attention with little twisting action. Now this can be quite soft if you prefer it to be soft today, by just gently swinging. Little turn in your spine, little turn in your hips, and just swinging. Or you might prefer to tap across your body with your hands, so your back hand might be tapping on the small of your back, your front hand on your lower ribs. Wakes up your energy a little bit more in the morning. So getting some nourishment into the kidneys as well as you tap. But again, you might prefer to keep it gentle and the hands are just swinging. Decide which feels good for you today. Then we're going to start to slow this down until you become still. Hands by your side, take a lovely sighing breath. So big breath in. Breathe out with a big sigh. One more time, big breath in. Big sigh out. Take a moment, close your eyes if you're comfortable. Notice how you feel. Notice your joints now. Take a moment to reflect on, how are my joints feeling after I've done that short exercise with each joint in turn, giving them some love and attention. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. If you enjoyed this, I'd love it for you to give me a thumbs up. There's a little thumbs up to my videos, help other people find my videos, and they can also receive the benefits of these lovely practices. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because then you won't miss out on any notifications letting you know there's a new video coming, and I post at least a new video every week. And I'd love to hear how your joints feel now in the comments below. So pop a comment and I reply to everyone. Thank you so much. For now, take care of you today. Breathe and believe. Bye-bye.